My name is Christian G2J, and this is the Sunday Brunch edition of post-fight wrap-up from last night's amazing night of fights on Showtime. Even if you were the casual fan and you got a chance to see any of those three performances, you were in for a treat last night. Two particular performances stood out, and actually one was in a losing performance. Andre Berto fought with one arm for 9 rounds. Let me repeat that. Andre Berto fought with one arm for 9 rounds. And although he probably will never be the same fighter, and not just because of this fight, that's something that was pretty memorable. Jesus Soto-Karass fought a good fight and knocked Berto out in the 12th round. But it was so sad to watch Berto in the post-fight conference with Jim Gray, and just the way he was looking at him and talking, saying, "Hey, I went out a warrior. That's all I could ask of myself. There's no way I was going to stop fighting." And you saw his trainer massaging his arm. It was just sad to see that. You know he's never going to be the same. And that's just the plight of boxers. Yeah, Meldrick Taylor was like that. I remember Meldrick Taylor came up, how quick his hands were, how impressive he was. Gosh, he was so fun to watch. But then two or three fights, and that was it. His career was over. And they just have to accept that. Most fighters don't, unfortunately. But Berto, how courageous. What courage you saw last night if you watched that particular fight. When I talk about courage, then you look at the fight leading into Berto and Karass, and that was Mahito Arakawa when he fought Omar Figueroa. Now, Figueroa is a nice young fighter. He is an impressive young fighter, throws that left hook. He commits on all his punches. He fights well off the ropes. Defensively, he needs to work a little bit, but he also fought a courageous fight. It's just that Arakawa, who kind of reminded me of a lower-level Manny Pacquiao, would not give up. I think that was the theme of last night, refusal to give up. Those two fighters, Arakawa and Berto, no matter what happened, they just refused to really give in to the fact that they were beaten fighters. And you got at some point you have to really love that about boxers. I know it's a grueling world, and boxing is tough and difficult and corrupt but last night we saw a different side. You see fighters who are unwilling to give in, and Arakawa just kept coming forward, and Figueroa was hitting him with everything. And then you see Berto. He's fighting with one arm. He just keeps coming forward. Now I'm fighting with my left hand. I'm throwing jabs. I'm throwing hooks. It was so impressive to watch, and yet so sad, because both those guys ended up on the losing end. But then you have Karass, and then you have Figueroa, who also fought fabulous fight. So last night, courage was the theme, and we were in for a treat. There was a special night of fights. 3 fights. Keith Thurman knocked out Diego Chavez early on, and it was impressive. It was fun to watch. Hopefully boxing keeps it up as we get into, as you know, September 14th with Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez. I'll see you in round 7. I'm Chris G2J. This is the Sunday Brunch edition of the post-fight wrap-up.